Welcome to Max Premieres. This year is packed with adventures that are totally worth it. From massive superhero sequels to literary adaptations, psychological horror, and high-caliber science fiction. Today we're going to go through the 20 most important movies coming to different platforms and theaters. But before starting the video, it would really help me out if you could take a moment to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your kind support. Number 20. The Odyssey reimagines Homer's epic journey as Odysseus struggles to return home after the Trojan War, facing gods, monsters, and impossible trials. Christopher Nolan directs this adaptation with a massive budget of $250 million, filmed entirely in IMAX format. Tom Holland plays Odysseus, Zendaya as Penelope, Anne Hathaway as Athena, Matt Damon as Agamemnon, and Lupita Nyong'o as Calypso. The cast is absolutely stellar, and Nolan has the ambition to create the definitive epic film. The production was filmed in multiple Mediterranean countries to capture the authenticity of ancient Greece. The truth is that Nolan never makes small films, and this promises to be his biggest project to date. Note that it won't be a literal adaptation. Nolan will add his own twists while maintaining the spirit of the poem. Number 19. Mortal Kombat 2. After the first tournament, Earth's warriors face an even deadlier challenge from Outworld. New fighters join the battle and old rivalries ignite as the stakes rise. Carl Urban plays Johnny Cage, who brings charisma and humor to the group. Cole Young returns alongside Liu Kang. And this time, the story explores more deeply the origin of the ancestral powers. Video game fans will find more iconic fatalities and brutally choreographed fights. The first installment divided opinions due to its somewhat rushed narrative, but this sequel promises more action and better character development. Simon McQuoid returns to direct with a significantly increased budget. Note that we'll also see Outworld in all its dark splendor, with scenarios designed to look like they came straight from the game. The mix of martial arts, supernatural powers, and intense rivalries explores honor, revenge, and the fight to protect Earthrealm from total destruction. The truth is that the inclusion of Johnny Cage has been the most celebrated by fans. Number 18. Disclosure Day. Governments officially reveal the existence of extraterrestrial life, unleashing global panic, political tension, and public chaos. The premise sounds like something out of conspiracy theories. Well, but the execution seems to be more of a political thriller than an alien invasion movie. Directed by Robert Connolly, the story examines how different societies react to the announcement, from denial to mass hysteria. The film explores fear, trust, and how humanity responds when history's biggest secret is finally unveiled. The first images show crowds in the streets and governments in crisis. The cast has not been fully revealed yet, but participation from internationally renowned actors is rumored. The production was filmed in multiple countries to capture different cultural perspectives of the event. Wow, the concept of Disclosure Day has been a topic of speculation for decades in ufology circles. Note that the film doesn't clearly show the extraterrestrials, focusing on the human reaction. The truth is that it will be interesting to see if the film leans more toward realism or spectacle. Number 17. The Mandalorian and Grogu. Din Djarin and Grogu face a new, dangerous mission across the galaxy. While powerful enemies hunt them, their bond is tested and destiny calls. Jon Favreau directs this transition from the successful Disney Plus series to the big screen with bigger budget and epic scale. Pedro Pascal returns as Din Djarin and Grogu continues stealing hearts with his tenderness. The story mixes classic Star Wars action, emotional growth, and legacy, showing how loyalty and choices can shape the future of the Force. We'll see new planets, creatures never seen before, and possibly deeper connections to the Skywalker saga. Filming used the innovative stagecraft technology that revolutionized the original series. Note that participation from other Mandalorians is also expected, and perhaps some surprise from past characters. The truth is that fans have been asking for this for years since the third season ended. The good thing is that Favreau understands what works: action, heart, and that Western touch in space. The bad thing is that taking the series to film could alienate those who didn't follow the series. Number 16. The Death of Robin Hood. Years after his legendary adventures, an aged and exhausted Robin Hood returns to Sherwood Forest for a final confrontation with the Sheriff of Nottingham. The film explores the cost of heroism, betrayal, and mortality as Robin faces his legacy. Hugh Jackman plays Robin Hood in the twilight of his life, physically diminished but mentally sharp. Directed by Michael Mann, known for his work on Heat and The Last of the Mohicans, the film adopts a realistic and brutal approach to the myth. Jodie Comer plays Lady Marian, now a widow living in seclusion after time took its toll on her relationship with Robin. The story doesn't romanticize the hero's old age, well, showing arthritis, old wounds, and deep weariness. The production was filmed in British forests during winter to capture the desolate atmosphere. Ben Mendelsohn plays the sheriff, now also old, but equally determined to capture his nemesis. Wow, the action scenes are limited but visceral when they occur. The truth is that Mann doesn't make conventional films, and this promises to be a dark medieval western. Note that the title reveals Robin's fate, eliminating suspense but focusing on the how and why. Number 15. Wonder Man. Simon Williams is a failed actor who gains ionic superpowers after an experiment goes wrong. While balancing his new identity as a superhero with his declining acting career, Simon must stop a threat that endangers Hollywood. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II stars as the charismatic Simon Williams in this action comedy that satirizes celebrity culture. Directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, the film mixes Marvel's cinematic universe action with commentary on the entertainment industry. Ben Kingsley returns as Trevor Slattery, now Simon's agent, in a comedic twist. The plot includes cameos from other Marvel heroes playing themselves in movies within the movie. The production was filmed in Los Angeles, taking advantage of real Hollywood locations. The truth is that Wonder Man is one of Marvel's lesser-known heroes, giving the team creative freedom. Number 14. Project Hail Mary. An astronomer wakes up on a spaceship with no memory of how he got there, only to discover he's humanity's last hope to save Earth from impending disaster. Ryland Grace must remember his mission while navigating deep space, solving impossible scientific puzzles, and forming an unexpected friendship with an alien being. Ryan Gosling stars in this adaptation of Andy Weir's novel, the author of The Martian. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller direct, bringing their characteristic balance of humor and genuine emotion. The film combines the solitary survival of the Martian with the cosmic scope of Interstellar. The production used extensive practical effects for the spacecraft sequences, well, mixed with CGI for the outer space scenes. Sandra Huller plays Eva Stratt, the scientist who recruited Grace for the mission. Note that the film keeps details about the alien's secret to preserve the surprise. The truth is that Weir has a gift for making complex science accessible and exciting. Number 13. Scream 7. The first images of this film show us a darker tone than recent installments, returning to the psychological horror roots of the original. The film was shot in Montreal, doubling for a generic American city that could be anywhere. Wow, fans have been demanding Sydney's return for years, and it finally happens under conditions that respect Campbell. Note that Williamson promised this installment will honor Wes Craven's legacy while taking the franchise in a new direction. The truth is that without Campbell, Scream lost something essential, and her return could revitalize the series. The good thing is that Williamson knows these characters better than anyone. Number 12. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Kara Zor-El travels across the universe with Ruthai, a young alien seeking revenge for her father's murder. While pursuing the killer, Kara faces her own trauma and loneliness, being the last surviving Kryptonian. The film moves away from typical superhero optimism, well, presenting a darker and more complex Supergirl shaped by loss. Based on Tom King's comic, the story mixes space western with deep emotional drama. Millie Alcock, known for House of the Dragon, plays a tougher Kara than previous versions. James Gunn produces and establishes this film as a fundamental part of his new DC universe. Filming spanned desert locations in Jordan and science fiction sets in London. Matthias Schoenaerts plays Krem, the villain Ruthai seeks to destroy. Number 11. The Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping. Set 24 years before the first Hunger Games, the film follows the 50th Hunger Games, where Haymitch Abernathy becomes the sole survivor from District 12. The story explores how young Haymitch navigates the deadly arena, dangerous alliances, and the capital's lethal traps. Francis Lawrence returns to direct after the success of The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. The prequel promises to show a capital at the peak of its cruelty, organizing particularly brutal games with double the tributes. Tom Blythe is in talks to play young Haymitch, a character fans only know as Katniss's alcoholic mentor. The truth is that seeing his origin story could add tremendous emotional depth to his arc. Note that these games include a special capital twist that makes them even more deadly than normal. The good thing is that Lawrence understands the franchise's tone perfectly. The bad thing is that we already know who survives, eliminating some tension. Number 10. Street Fighter. Ryu, a solitary martial artist, travels the world seeking worthy opponents while fighting an internal darkness called the Satsui no Hado. When the Street Fighter World Tournament is infiltrated by the criminal organization Shadaloo, Ryu must join forces with Chun-Li, Guile, and other legendary fighters to stop M. Bison. Directed by the Russo brothers, the film promises brutally choreographed fight scenes and special effects that will bring the game's iconic moves to real life. Will Yoon Lee plays Ryu, Simu Liu as Ken Masters, and Charlize Theron surprises as Chun-Li. The production was filmed in locations in Japan, Thailand, and Brazil to capture the franchise's global authenticity. The truth is that video game adaptations have a mixed track record, but the Russos proved with Avengers that they can handle massive ensembles. Note that each fighter will have their moment to shine rather than just being filler. The good thing is that they respect the source material while giving it a more mature and serious tone. Number 9. Moana 2. Moana receives an unexpected call from her Wayfinder ancestors and must journey to the far seas of Oceania into lost and dangerous waters for an adventure unlike anything she has faced before. Ali I. Cravalho returns as the voice of Moana, and Dwayne Johnson returns as Maui. The sequel was released in theaters in November and was a massive box office success, grossing over $600 million globally in its first week. The film expands Polynesian mythology by introducing new gods, sea creatures, and unexplored territories. The original songs were composed by Abigail Barlow and Emily Bear, replacing Lin-Manuel Miranda. The water animation reaches new levels of photorealistic detail. Note that this sequel isn't just more of the same, it raises the emotional stakes, showing Moana as a more mature leader. The truth is that Disney rarely fails with its animated sequels when they take the necessary time. The good thing is that it maintains the adventurous spirit of the original while expanding the world significantly. Number 8. The Beauty. A sexually transmitted disease makes infected people physically perfect, resulting in millions deliberately seeking to contract it. But when the infected begin dying from spontaneous combustion, society panics. Based on the comic of the same name, The Beauty presents a unique concept that works as both social satire and science fiction thriller. Olivia Wilde directs and also stars alongside Lakeith Stanfield as detectives investigating the first combustion cases. The premise inverts the traditional idea of disease, turning it into something people desire rather than fear. What's interesting is how the film examines our cultural obsession with physical appearance. Wow, the promotional images show disturbing visual effects of the combustions. The truth is that the concept is strong enough to generate conversation about beauty and superficiality. The good thing is that Wilde has proven with Don't Worry Darling that she can handle science fiction with strong visual style. Number 7. Shelter. A family takes shelter in an underground bunker after a catastrophic event destroys the outside world. As resources dwindle and tension rises, they discover that the real danger might be inside the shelter with them. Directed by Michael Polish, known for his work on low-budget but high-tension thrillers, Shelter keeps viewers guessing what threat is real and what is a product of fear. Nicole Kidman leads the cast as the matriarch who must keep her family together as sanity unravels. The premise sounds simple, well, but the execution focuses on psychological horror rather than spectacle. Note that the film never clearly shows what happened outside, leaving that to the imagination. The truth is that the best bunker thrillers work when the internal threat surpasses the external one. Number 6. Apex. A grieving woman decides to push her limits in the Australian wilderness, but ends up trapped in a deadly game with a ruthless predator. Directed by Baltasar Kormakur, known for Beast and Everest, the film promises intense survival sequences. Charlize Theron stars as Sasha, a rock climber who must use all her wits to survive when a serial killer played by Taron Egerton makes her his prey. The premise combines survival action with brutal Australian landscapes, elements of climbing, kayaking, and chases through wild territories. The good thing is that the scenes were filmed with Theron doing her own climbs barefoot on real mountains, no stunt doubles or excessive digital effects. The bad thing is that the premise of woman hunted in the wilderness we've seen several times before, so it'll depend on the execution to stand out. The truth is that Theron always delivers committed performances in physically demanding roles, and this could be one of the most challenging of her career. Number 5. The Strangers. Chapter 3. The terrifying saga of masked intruders attacking unsuspecting victims continues. This time, a new family becomes their target, facing relentless psychological and physical torment. Renny Harlin directs this third entry after the commercial success of Chapter 1. The franchise returns to its home invasion horror roots after the second film experimented with wider scenarios. The three iconic killers, Pin-Up Girl, Dollface, and Man in the Mask, return with new methods of psychological torture. The truth is that The Strangers works because it doesn't need to explain complex motivations. The terror comes from the randomness of the attack. Wow, the simplicity of Because You Were Home remains chilling years later. Note that this installment promises to be the most brutal of the three so far. The good thing is that the concept never ages, and each film can slightly reinvent the formula. Number 4. Greenland, Migration. While catastrophic weather events force massive evacuations, a family fights to survive in a world on the brink of collapse. Dangerous storms, dwindling resources, and ruthless opportunists push them to their limits. Gerard Butler and Morena Baccarin return as John and Allison Garrity, continuing their fight to survive after the events of the first film. This sequel was released in theaters on January 17th and is already generating conversation. The film explores the long-term consequences of the comet impact, with Earth facing nuclear winter and global famine. Families must migrate to habitable zones while facing hostile groups and social collapse. The truth is that Greenland was a pleasant surprise, offering a more realistic disaster thriller than most. Note that this sequel doesn't settle for repeating the formula. It expands the scale, showing the entire world in chaos. The good thing is that it maintains the focus on family instead of becoming pure spectacle. Number 3. Toy Story 5. Woody, Buzz, and the gang reunite as they face a world where toys are being replaced by advanced technology. When a new threat puts their family at risk, the toys must adapt, stick together, and redefine their purpose. Pixar returns with the 5th installment of its most successful franchise, and the pressure is high after Toy Story 4 delivered an emotional and satisfying ending. Number 2. 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. This film follows a group of explorers discovering a mysterious ancient temple linked to a deadly secret. As they delve deeper, they awaken forces beyond their understanding, turning curiosity into a fight for survival. Danny Boyle returns to direct 28 years after the original film that redefined the zombie genre. This second part of a planned trilogy explores how humanity has adapted decades after the rage virus outbreak. Cillian Murphy also returns, though his exact role remains secret. The Bone Temple appears to be a mysterious structure that survivors discovered, possibly containing answers about the virus's origin. The truth is that Boyle elevated the genre with 28 Days Later, and his return generates enormous expectations. Wow, the first images show a devastated England where nature has reclaimed the cities. Number 1. Avengers. Doomsday. Earth's mightiest heroes gather against a catastrophic threat that could erase reality itself. Robert Downey Jr. returns, but this time playing Dr. Doom, a twist that promises to change everything we know about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Old alliances are tested and new heroes emerge as the Avengers face impossible decisions with the fate of the universe at stake. Chris Evans also returns in a mysterious role that Marvel refuses to reveal. The Russo brothers return to direct after the massive success of Infinity War and Endgame. Filming took place in locations across 5 continents, with a cast that includes dozens of established and new heroes. Wow, the estimated budget exceeds $400 million. The truth is, we still don't know exactly how well this change of Downey as a villain will work, but the anticipation is sky high. Note that Marvel has kept the plot under extreme secrecy, leaking only the bare minimum. The good thing is that the Russos have already proven they can handle massive events with dozens of characters. And so we close this journey through the 20 most anticipated movies of 2026. This year promises to be memorable in movie theaters. Each of these productions brings something unique to the table, and it's worth keeping an eye on their releases. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave your like, subscribe, and hit the bell to not miss our upcoming videos. See you in the next video with more releases, more recommendations, and more good cinema. Until next time.